Hi everyone. Thank you for showing interest in this Azure DevOps course. So today is the day one of our DevOps journey. In yesterday's session, I was discussing about the course curriculum, like what and all we'll be covering, what are the areas we'll cover, what is the need of DevOps, and what is the market scope, and there were some Q&As and all we have discussed. I hope you got chance to see it. If not, like we have the recorded version available. It is shared in the so you can go and check that discussions. So now coming back to our day one discussion. So day one would be a brush up kind of thing because I'm yet to know about the students, your backgrounds. Like once we are all settled down, like once all this registration process are all completed, what we will do is like I will be asking an introduction kind of thing to know about your background. Like some students might be from a testing background, some student might be from the development background, some might be from a non-back cloud background. So after understanding their skill set, I used to give the relevant example when I discuss a particular topic because DevOps serves different set of people, right? The DevOps can be used for a tester, a DevOps can be used for a functional tester and a performance tester, a DevOps can be used by a developer, a DevOps can be used by a admin, the system admin kind of person. So the need is different from different angles. So based upon the skill set you have, your current background, and the future expectation, the relevant examples will be discussed. In the demo, also, we will take the relevant examples and I'll be demonstrating. So, in today's discussions, we are going to discuss about the IT, the DevOps understanding, and what are the different methodology we follow in the project management, because that is the need of the hour. I would say that like you should know what is the practice we are following. So if you are already from the IT background, if you're already from a project deliverable background, yes, what I'm going to discuss, you might be aware of. If you are the one who is like totally new to this concepts and all, then it will be an add-on value for you. So that's why I've taken this topic as an introduction one, because why DevOps? That is a very question, very first question everybody will get it right. Like it's a common question. Why DevOps? Without DevOps, can't we do? This is the very first question if somebody wants to learn about DevOps. So we are going to discuss about that. Why I needed DevOps. What I did without DevOps. Without DevOps, can't I do? So these are the things we are going to discuss, because the next the like 40 hours, like you are going to discuss about DevOps, right? So you should know why I need DevOps, what I'm going to do with the DevOps and all. So the very first thing we are going to discuss in the day one of our DevOps journey. So as I told you, initial few sessions only, you will be having the presentation shown to you to have some basic understanding. Like once I started into uh, the regular course in terms of like our Azure portal or the DevOps portal, things like you will be seeing my portal screens only. So today I'm going to start with the presentations, like how you can start your journey with the DevOps. So I hope my screen is visible to you. And yeah, so this is a traditional model we follow. Like whenever you start your IT journey, this is what you do. Like take any project, any type of project currently you're working on or you're going to work. So this is the process we do follow regularly. So though I mentioned as waterfall, like the process or the steps which you're going to follow would be same, like whatever project you are working on. It can be a web development, or it can be a desktop development, it can be a .NET based development or Java based development, whatever may be the development. These are the cycles you will be following, the one which I shown in the screen. So the terms or technical terms might be different, okay, but ideally the process or steps would be same. So the first thing is like, say for example, you are going to work for a project where you have to develop one e-commerce website, like one online shopping app you are planning to uh, design. So ideally, what you will do is like the very first stage, you in the sense your team. It's not like directly you will be involved, because every stage involve different set of people. Different SMEs would be involved. So the understanding is your team will be working here. The first thing is we will gather the requirement. So in a simple line, I said like you are going to develop one website, you are going to develop one online shopping app. I'm saying like this, but it's not going to be that simple. When you're going to do your development activity, you will come across a lot of challenges. If you want to address all those challenges, then the first two steps should be very clear. So ideally, this is the process we are supposed to follow. That is, you have to gather the requirement. Hey, you are saying that you need a web application. Fine, I understand. It is an internet-based application or intranet-based application because security come into picture. So you should know how you are going to use it. How many users are going to use it? So it's a performance contributed thing because if I know this application will be used by like 10 members, like 10 users, then I don't need more than two missions or one mission. I can manage with a lesser number of mission. If this website would be used by thousands or hundreds of users, then obviously I have to plan upfront for my resources also, my infrastructure also. So you will ask that question. And what are the features you need? That is the main thing, right? Functionality anywhere you'll come to know. So I'm going to create a website, and this website, these are the screens I should have, and I should have an order place option. I should cancel the order. I should track my order. I should change my shipping address. A lot of things we will be adding. So these are all related to the functionality. But apart from the functionality, the non-functional aspect, as I mentioned, like we do gather the performance related or security related informations. Once we gather all these informations, what we do? We do the design. So based upon the requirement, proper design. I, in the sense, my team will come with a proper design. So if, as I told you, if it is an internet based application or intranet based application, if it is like 10 members application or 1,000 members using this application, so based upon the design will change. You may be asking me, what is the design change? Yes, there is a design change. Like it is depend upon the how frequently you are going to use and where you are going to use. Based upon that, also you have to change your design. So once the architecture is built properly, once the design is created, so we usually say the documents, okay, you will have BRD, you will have SRS, so different type of documents we follow, and HLD will be there, okay, LLD would be there. So those are the things you create. So basically, some design document you are creating. These are the technical terms we use it in the IT world, but ideally, in a simple term, I would say that you will gather the requirement and you will come up with a design document. Once the design document got signed off, like once it is reviewed with the client or the end user, once you get the sign off, what we will do? We will do the development. So we will do the actual implementation kind of thing. So you will develop. So again, it depends upon the technology or the programming language you select. You will do the development. Once you feel it is ready, then you deploy the code. So you will deploy into the development environment, and you will do some validation. So if you will have your verification. So verification in the sense like you will validate your functionality, and you will do verification on the non-functionality aspect also, the performance or security aspect, the data securities, all these things we will be validating. Then finally, what we will do, we will deploy into the actual environment, that is your production environment. So I believe you are from IT world, means you will understand what is production environment. If not, in simple language, I would say it is a live environment. So if I'm going like I'm typing www.amazon.com, then it is opening one URL to me, right? That is a live environment to me. That is a live. But behind the screen, there will be n number of environments Amazon might be holding. They will have a development environment, testing, that is QA environment, pilot environment, lot of environments they will have. But ideally, what is the URL they're exposing to the end user, that we call it as the live environment or the production environment. So once I deploy my code into the production environment, then I will do the maintenance activity. That is, whatever I deploy, whether it is working on or it is impacting. So how it performs. So those things and all will do. So these are the process we regularly follow. What type of application you are going to work, or what is the project you are going to work, irrespective of all these things, these are the steps we follow. So these are the things I'm telling, right? So I would say like few decades back, we take at least 3 months to 6 months to complete this, the complete cycle. So though the customer is saying that, hey, I want one simple text message change in my website, like whenever a user logged in, it is saying that welcome UV. So instead of that, I want to have some greeting message that, hey, good morning, UV. So some message the client wants to change. It would be a very simple change. Even if it is a simple change, those days it will take at least 3 months of time to do all this process. So as I told, like requirement gathering, designing, development, testing, and finally you have to create some change activity or change request because you're going to disturb the live environment, right? So you have to find one day where the traffic is less. If it is a internet based application, means you will pick and choose a time like Sunday evening time or some other day where you will see less load and all, and you will do the deployment. And if the deployment is not working fine, like you have to go for the backup plan. The DR option also should be available. You have to roll back the code. So this is the process we follow. So ideally it was taking 3 months of time. So this is the model. We call it as the waterfall model. This is the traditional way of developing your product or your application or software. So this process we are following. But ideally, you just think from a end user perspective. They want one small text change in the website. Are they really ready to wait for 3 months for that? No, they were not at all ready. It ends up in bad customer experience. Then only we came into the concept of agile methodology. So in agile methodology, we were doing exactly same. There is no doubt in that. Like whatever process I told in the previous slide, yes, exactly we are doing that. Only we are going to change the terms here. That is, we will do a plan, we will do a design, then actually development, testing, deploy, review, final launch. So this complete cycle, you can see the terms alone is different when compared to the waterfall model I was telling. But ideally, I'm doing it. But the one important thing is I'm not going to do this for 3 months of time. It will be a shorter time frame. So ideally, most of the organization are following 2 weeks of sprint. There are some organization following 1 week of sprint, or sometimes I would say they are following even 1 day sprint also, but they are not officially declaring, but there are organizations doing it because they want to satisfy the customer, the end user, as soon as possible. So they don't want to really drag it for 3 months or 6 months of time because they want to see the feedback immediately. Because if somebody is asking some changes in the screen and I made them to wait for 3 months, then I have no clue that whether they will stay with me, that whether they will use the website after 3 months or not. But if I deliver it quickly, that within a week or within 2 weeks of time, then I will gain a good customer experience. That's why we went into the agile methodology. So the agile methodology, the very first pros and cons, like when we discuss like faster time to market, you will deploy or you will react to the expectation immediately. So you will follow the cycle, but you won't wait for months and all. You will be responding in weeks. And here, the testing and superior quality, because here what we are doing is when you go for a release of 3 months, then you will add n number of changes. It's not like one or two fixes you will be adding. You will gather all the requirements, like you will say 10 features or 15 new functionalities, you will add it together and you will test it. So what will happen is like your quality of code testing would be not that much efficient when compared to the sprint cycle, because in sprint you will be concentrating only on one or two tasks only. So you will efficiently test it and you will have a good quality code also. And next thing is flexible priorities, because if you have this shorter time frame, then you can prioritize your thing. Whichever is of high priority, that you will take it and you will work on it and you will deliver it. Any of the other things also you are going to deliver within 1 or 2 days or within 1 or 2 weeks, because you have the sprint cycle. It's not like you will wait for 3 months to make some change in the production. Immediately you are going to do the next sprint, the next activity you are going to do. So you can prioritize your thing. The flexibility you can see it in this sprint or this agile methodology. And the project visibility and transparency also would be there, because um, when you work in this sprint model, like you will have the full control about what you're going to deliver, when you're going to deliver, and you can concentrate only on the topic. topics like where you have currently working on. It's not like you are assigned with 10 tasks at a time and you itself has to work on managing people. What will happen is sometimes when you work on the waterfall model, if there is any interdependency with the external system or the external team, if they are not ready, you have completed your development, but the external team is not ready, means it will be a block for you and you have to wait for it. But in the sprint cycle, like you can very well have this. As I told you, you have the selection process, like you can flexible in priority you can do. If the external team is not ready, then you can go and pick the one which is of higher priority and you can work on it. So that's what we are doing. So now we are able to deliver quickly with a good quality code and all. But you can ask me how you are going to do it. You are saying that you are going to deliver quickly, but you are at the same time you are saying that good quality code you are delivering, good testing you are doing. How it is possible? Yes, it is possible with the concept of our DevOps tools. Okay, so we are going to discuss that in detail. We are going to use a format of automation. So using the DevOps feature, we are able to survey in this agile world. We are going to deliver our requirement quickly. So the traditional way, let's discuss that if I am going to follow the traditional way, so what we'll have, like we have two set of people. That's what we were doing also like uh, 2 decades back. Like you will have a group of people called development team, you will have a group of people called operation teams. So development team, they will do the development, they will do the compilation, they will commit it. That's it. After that, they will forget about it. So what this operation team will do, they will take the packages, they will work on it, and they will add those requirement changes and all, and they will deploy into the environment. They have no clue about what the other team is doing. If something goes wrong in the deployment, the operation team itself will take care of it. Unless and until it is a pure play code issue, they will come and they will check with the developer. Otherwise, all the environment related aspect, any patch update is needed, any dependency is needed. All these things will be handled internally by the operation team. Similarly, the development team, like how they are doing this compilation, how they are maintaining this aspect and all will be handled within the development team. But there were some dependency between these two. That is, it is not like everybody will be working in the same geolocation, everybody will be available in the same time zone. So if my development team is working on an Indian time zone and operation teams are available in the different time zone, for example, though the developer completed his task, like he has to wait for the operation team to come online to build it. Even if it is a small change, there are sometimes you cannot check it in local, like validation. You have to wait for the deployment in the development servers. So for the deployment, you don't have any control. You have to wait for the operation team to come online. The same thing, when operation team is doing some activity and they come across any challenge, like any code issue or small configuration file missing, they have to wait the next day when the Indian team, like the development team works in the Indian time zone, comes online and they have to work and email communication. A lot of gaps would be there. So because of this, what has happened is delay. So your final end deliverable will be delayed because of this process, because you depending on the other team. The other team, it's not guaranteed that the operation team is working only for your application. Usually what will happen is those operation team will be a pool of people who will be supporting multiple projects, multiple teams. So based upon their availability only, they will look into your issues. So that challenges also we were facing. So then only we brought into the concept of DevOps. So all of a sudden, like suddenly they told that no, there is no concept of a development team and the operation team. Going forward, we are going to work as a team called DevOps team. So in the DevOps team, what we are doing here is like we are going to handle things in terms of So we are going to handle things related to your process. You are going to do the activity of the developer. You are going to do the activity of the operations, but it's not a two different team. A developer should do the operation team activity. A operation team should take the control of development related activities also. That is what we call it as DevOps. So ideally, DevOps means it is not a simple process alone. Like if you ask me about the definition of DevOps, then I would say it is a combination of a people, process, and product, because you are going to collaborate with multiple people. So to achieve or to function as a DevOps person, you have to collaborate with different teams. So say for example, you are facing some challenge with the development code, like you will be communicating with the developers. Or if you have some problem with any of your environment aspect, like you will be communicating with them. So different collaboration is needed. So it is a combination of people. Next thing is process. Ideally, you have to follow a process to make things works quickly, and quick to market is a jargon like we are using, right? So for that, you have to follow some process. So basically, the automation process and all you will follow to make things work. And finally, the products, because we want to do multitasking. Like some people will come to a conclusion that, oh, it is an additional work for me, I'm going to do dual role here. No, not at all like that. Like you are going to do the role of DevOps person, but efficiently you are going to deliver the same product by using the power of automation. So far you are doing a process, but now you are going to do the same process with the advanced technique. That is, there are a lot of tools available in the market, which is going to make your work easy. So you're going to adopt yourself to the automation processes, because when we are doing the deployment and all, what we did is like we were using scripts. So automation means at that time, to an extent, it's a script only. We used to write the scripts. It can be a shell scripts or PowerShell based one. So you used to have some comments and all for every deployment. Even the build managers were used to write a shell scripts only, and they will work on like how you can like you will have your packages available, means how you can zip that with available jars, and how you can transfer to a different folder structure, different server. Everything is a server based or the script based things only we were doing. But now what has happened is like we are started using a lot of tools, because the same deployment I'm going to do, but I'm not going to write my own script here, like from the scratch. I may end up in writing some scripts, but it's not like everything from the scratch. I am going to use the power of automation tools here, the DevOps tools here, so which is going to help me in terms of my continuous delivery. That is the aspect here. That is, it is not going to end in a particular point. It is a continuous loop. That is, I will first gather the information, and I will do the coding, and I will do the uh, deployment, and I will do the testing. Once I do the test, what I will do is I will deploy into the production environment, and I will monitor it. Once I monitor, if I feel whatever feature I expected, it's not delivered properly, something is going wrong in terms of application or in terms of infrastructure. After monitoring, I will come to know the betterment option. That is how I can improve the existing process, how I can improve the existing application. So I'll come to know the output. Then again, I will plan it. Say, for example, I was using a website like where the customer rating is provided. So far the customer rating was provided in a text format. Okay, so they were typing that this product is good, this product is best, something they were typing. So I did planning, coding, deployment, everything I did. But when I monitored that application, I came to know it is not working as I expected, because most of them are not ready to type the feedback there. So now I have the room of improvement here. So what I did is like I will go and I will work for the better option. So what I did, I planned it again. So instead of giving them the free text, I added the star rating. So once I added the star rating, then I did the same cycle again, that is your development, testing, everything, and I deployed it. So once I deployed it, like, yes, now I see a lot of people are responding to the feedback section. Like now they are giving 1 star, 2 star, they are giving the star rating. But again, what is happening is if they are giving 5 star, well and good. If they are giving only single star, I should know what is the problem they are facing, right? Single star, them to type the full text and all, like sometime communication gap will come, sometimes people may not comfortable with the verbages and all. So now again I have the place for improvement, that is I can add the feature of attaching the file. They can take the photo of the product and they can attach it. So again, I planned it and the cycle went. So this is how your DevOps skill will go. Like it is not going to end up in a certain point. It is a loop process you are going to do. So now you can ask me that you are saying about DevOps, right? So if I'm going to function as a DevOps engineer, what I'm going to do. So yes, this is the answer to you. That is, you will be functioning like a developer. That is, DevOps engineer is nothing but a combination of both the activities I told. But you can be a developer, you can be an infrastructure admin. It's not like you're going to perform a dual role here. So you can be from a development background or you can be a testing background. Okay, developer in the sense I'm talking about both the aspect, that is developer and tester, who relates to a application side. And next thing is your infrastructure admin. So here you would be a subject matter expert who will be working with the people, a different people will be collaborating, and you will follow a different process to make your work done quickly, and you will be using multiple tools to make your work easy. So this will help me for the continuous delivery. The responsibility means like what you will do is you will do collaboration, and you will do your code source control thing, and you are doing your compliance activity, you will do your testing, you will do the monitoring things. So you will be supporting. It's not like you are going to do, you will be supporting all these things mentioned here. So yeah, version control support in the sense like code will be committed by a developer, but you will be helping them to work on this version control maintenance, or like creating a pipeline from the version control. So those are the things you will be doing. So this is the role of a DevOps person. So now I was talking about like you are going to use some products, you are going to use some automation tools, right? So this is the screen which covers few of the DevOps tools available in the market, because lots of tools are available to make our work easy. So there are some work you will be doing for months, right? Those works you can do it in few hours itself by using these tools. So all these tools, what it's doing is it's making our work easy. Again, you should not think that, hey, so far, if I'm comfortable with a shell script I was surviving in the market, now you're asking me to learn a lot of tools. No, it is not like that. So if you are investing your time, these tools, like whatever I'm showing, right, you will be using it one on the other in your day-to-day life. Even now, it is making your work easy, because when you have to manage your code like using some source control, that is without git also, I was using multiple uh, tools for my version controls and all. So those time what has happened is like it's all common based one. So creating a branch or viewing the branch. So a lot of challenges we were facing, and any commits if I want to remove, any merge I have to do, it was like not comfortable at all. But when Git come into picture, it was easy for me. So I the branching wise or like merging things and all, like I can work at a two releases at the same time. Like say for example, I have a production bug in the January release, I want to work, yes I can work. And I want to work on the future release, that is February release, I want to work, yes that also I can do, because of branching techniques and all. And the screen, like you can see, the Confluence is the one, like you will use it for your documentation. It will be a centralized place where your all your project related documents, you can see it in a single place. And if there is any issue in your application, so it is instead of communicating orally or instead of communicating in a team call or a email communication, there is a chance that you will miss it. So you can work on the Jira, like you can create your tickets there, any bug is there, you can create. So it will be helpful for the communication between the testing team and development team. And one important thing is if you maintain this issues tracking and all in an email, there are some chances that you will miss it, because some email communication they will have a archive, like they will say like after 30 days you cannot get this email and all. But in the Jira, you will have a full track even three release back what has happened, like what are the defects I have raised, what is the output we have became, and what is the final output we have achieved. So all these things I can easily track it in the Jira, like a complete project management I can do, like for this particular release how many bugs were raised, and how frequently we are creating issues. So all these things you can track it there. And next thing is like the configuration managements. So this also in our one of the demo we'll be discussing this Ansible's one. So if I have an infrastructure, in that infrastructure I want to modify server like Apache version. I want to change it. If it is a single server, yes, I can manually log in and I can play around with Apache. But think about like I'm handling 50 servers, like I'm an admin who has to manage hundreds of machine. In all the hundreds of machine, I want to update the Apache version, then it will be a really tough task for me. I can do it. I can use scripting, but it may not be that much efficient. If I manually do it, I have to open each and every machine. I have to check the existing version, or if not at all there, if I want to uninstall. So many things I have to do it. And it is a time consumption process. Nowadays, we don't have that much of time, right? Nobody is ready to wait for like 10 days to for a single software update in a server. So there only this configuration management tools and all come into picture. Like it can be a Chef or it can be a Ansible. So what they are doing is it is helping me to do the configuration in multiple servers with lesser time, with lesser my involvement would be less when compared to the other manual aspect, because here one time I will create the script, I will create the playbook, I will do the inventory setup, and I will validate it, then I will run it. So once I run it, it works fine. Tomorrow, if I want to update a new software like JDK, I want to update in all 100 machine, then my work will be very simple. I will do some customization in the existing playbook. So here, the tools, like whatever tools we are using, which is making our work easy, and it is supporting us in terms of the quick to market feature. And not only that, like if you're planning to manage your like monitor your environment. So what you will be doing is you will use Datadog. So it will help me to monitor it. If in case that I want to do some log analysis and all, like I have hundreds of servers, and when somebody logs in, some failure has happened, but I don't know the user logged into which web server, which app server, I have no clue. So what I can do is I can use a Splunk and I can use a session IDs and I can track it in different machines. So log analytics is really easy when you go with this tool. So before that, what we will be doing is we will log into each and every machine and we will use some search commands and we will search the logs. And after coming to that understanding, like what we will do is like, yeah, this machine only has this issue. Lot of manual works again. So now all these things are sorted out. We are not going to use the traditional way, the manual process. We are going to use the tools, and these tools are all user friendly. It is not like something you have to start from the scratch, something you have to invest a lot of time in understanding this. These are all user friendly navigations, and it will make our work easy with the uh, automation feature. So again, all these tools, what they are doing is they are giving support to both the type of users. That is, if you're comfortable with the UI option, yes, you can use. If you feel that you are master in coding and you want to use our coding, yes, that also you can use.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt. I have a little doubt here. Is it okay if I just for 1 minute if I can ask?
Yes, yes, please.
Ma'am, actually, I'm from a QA background, and most of the like nowadays in the like the job profile, they are also asking for the DevOps part also, like CI/CD, Jenkins, and all Kubernetes and all that. So for QA, I mean, I'm not getting what is the relevance, and as a QA, what all we should know from this diagram. Basically, I was just checking because all of these terms, few of them I have seen in the job requirement profile. So, ma'am, can you please help us understand like how which of these we should concentrate more, and how will this course help us to do that? And also, secondly, I wanted to ask if there are any live projects that will be offered during the course or towards the end of the course, so that we can also be confident and answer the interview questions likewise.
Good question. Good question. Yes, like as I told, it's not like all these tools you would be using, like whatever I'm projecting. So depend upon the nature of the job you are currently in and you are passionate to do it, the tools will vary. Okay. For the testing background, I would say that you will be using this Jenkins. Okay. So
Okay.
and Selenium also, like Selenium again, I won't say it is a thing like you will be using your Eclipse, using Selenium, like you will be creating your functional automation scripts. And those scripts you will be executing from either Jenkins in this course. Okay, Jenkins is the traditional way, I would say, but now like you are in registered for this Azure DevOps, right? So Azure itself has the concept of CI/CD. So there you will be using it. So what you will be doing is like you can incorporate your scripts into the CI/CD concept and you can add it. There are two ways I would say. That is when you create a CI/CD pipeline, especially on the CD part, so when the developer commits it, once the code is ready for deployment, what we will do is like we will deploy into a development environment and unit test everything done means then we will deploy into the QA environment. Once you
Yeah.
do it in the QA environment, what you do currently is somebody will send a mail and they will say that, hey, this code is ready for this release. Please go and validate it. If it is some new feature you are going to validate, yes, you can go and validate it using your manually executing your automation script. Yes, you can do it. But if you're going to do a repeated task, some else checks you are going to do, some regression you are going to do. Already for every release, whenever a deployment has happened, that your team will have like 15 or 20 test cases. Those are the important or critical features of the particular application that should work irrespective whether the developer has touched the code or not. You will run the test cases,
Got
right?
it.
You will see those 10, 20 features, so it's working. So what we will
Yeah.
do is we will create a pipeline activity. That is, when you're creating your CD pipeline, we will add one block for the functionality testing, and in that functionality testing we will add your script. So once the deployment reached the QA environment, it will automatically trigger those 20 test cases or the script. Okay, if you are having the script ready, your automation script ready, it is going to execute those test cases and it is going to give you the report. Okay, it's truly depend upon how you write your automation scripts. Like if you write it like to stop it, like if you feel that some issue is there, so you can create a defect also, and or you can
Yeah.
stop the next deployment. Say after QA you have to deploy into UAT environment or the staging environment means if you feel that there is a important test case which is failed, then you can very well block your next execution, that is deployment, the next stage deployment, you can block it. So that is why people were asking you to be comfortable with the CI/CD pipeline. It's not like every time you will be going and manually, though you have an automation script, you will be manually executing it. But you can add it in your pipeline, not only this functional testing, even performance testing. So what they do is they will have like whenever somebody committed, we will follow this cycle. After the functionality validation, performance validation will be done. SAST will be done, DAST, that is security testing and all will be done. So these are the things we call it as a pipeline. It's not like only you compile, you deploy. That is not the pipeline. Pipeline means which
Yeah.
covers all these things.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
next thing is you ask like why I have to learn Kubernetes, like I am from a testing background, right? So now the expectation is one step ahead in the market. It depends upon the years of experience you have brought. If you are going for a senior categories and all, it's not like you're a trainee or kind of thing. The expectation is instead of just saying that I clicked on the button, it's not working. So that is a simple way we report an issue, right? Now the expectation is if your application is deployed into the Kubernetes and you are facing some challenge means the next step is you have to go and check the logs and get the logs for your failure and paste it in your issue. So that is the expectation now people are expecting. So there may be a chance that it is that environment would be down. So you should be familiarized, like you are testing application which is deployed in a virtual machine, but the virtual machine is stopped. It is not at all running. Then when you try to
Mm.
test it, that is not working. So instead of waiting for the operation teams to come and turn it on or run it again, if you have the permission, you itself can start the machine. and you can work on that activity. Small debugging things you can do by yourself. So that is the expectation from the JDs nowadays. That's why they're asking you, do you know Kubernetes? Do you know how to check logs? Do you know how to run your CI/CD pipeline? Clear?
Okay, okay. Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, so for better understanding that, actually, I have watched a lot of YouTube videos on that. But what is happening is they are first thing they are giving a very basic information, and other thing is that more than that means while seeing those videos, it is looking fine. But when it comes to doing hands-on, or when it is expected that we have worked live on that only, then we will also get to know what are problems, how to troubleshoot. So are we also for that? Is any live project also part of this course, ma'am?
See, that's what I covered in the yesterday's session. This 40 hours, what I'm discussing, right? This is like
Yeah.
I am showing, I'm projecting my screen. But apart from that, we have the offline lab also. Like I'll be sharing you the lab activities once I complete each and every topic. Say, for example, if I'm completing how to create a virtual machine in Windows or in the Linux option operating system. So after completing this, the lab will be provided to you. I'll be sharing the list of lab things. You will be doing it. So once you do it, yes, for sure you will get a issue. That's I request to each and every student. I know every one of us are working in a different organization, but spend at least like a few minutes after watching this session. You have to
Mm.
practice whenever you find time. It's not like immediately over weekend if you have time also. That's why we don't have sessions on weekend. So
Yeah.
you can spend your weekend on this lab activities, and if you face any issue, I'm just sharing like how we follow in our other batches also. So
Uh-huh.
my students, once I give the lab practices, again, it's not like something new I'll give, like it's without telling anything, I'll give something and you go and explore. No, not like that. So in the initial
Mm.
few days, I will make you to replicate exactly what I did. Once you feel
Mm.
comfortable, I'll increase the complexity. So whatever I'm doing, I give as a lab exercise to you. Like you have to practice by yourself, and you have to take a photo or the screenshot and you have to paste it in the WhatsApp group. Again, it's not compulsory, but it will be good if you practice it.
Will
So
be
while we
helpful
are
for
doing
us
it,
only.
like you,
Yes.
yes, yes, because then only I'll come to know your level of understanding. Then only you will come to know where you're lagging, and you can utilize this time, my live sessions time, to raise questions like, yesterday I tried this, I struck with this, what is the problem? It's not like you have to wait for this session. Like you can ask it in the WhatsApp group also. Like then and there I'll be replying in the group. If you're still unable to do it, yes, we will discuss in the live sessions also. So that is a pattern like we follow. It was like working for years. So it worked for multiple students. So again, like the 1 hour session, first 45 minutes will be the regular topics we will discuss. Last 15 minutes is for the Q&A session. It can be on today's
Okay.
topic or it can be on the older topics. It can be on your lab exercise also. And again, to do the lab, you need environment, right? So I'll be telling you how you can create your free Azure
Set up the environment.
account
Mm.
and those things and all. If I'm going to
Yeah.
tell that, hey, you will be doing a Jenkins hands-on, means I will be guiding you how you can download the Jenkins var, how you can install in your laptop. The basic requirements that you need a laptop or a desktop kind of thing so that you can practice. So that is the only prerequisite. Apart from that, if you're from a testing background or development background, it's not the big deal. How much you're going to show the involvement, and I'm here to support you throughout this course. So I request every one of you to practice the lab which I'm giving. So apart from the 40 hours, we have labs for each and every topic which I'm going to cover. So if you practice, then you will get a confidence for your interview perspective.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah. And ma'am, interview preparation or any mock interview preps are we sessions are we going? Because what is happening now that when we are in class, you are teaching us and we are learning till that, like we will also practice, that is for sure. But when actual interview comes now, that times we are getting bit scared, and like we are not that able to be so confident. So whether we will be doing any mock interview sessions, ma'am?
Mock interview kind of thing I didn't do so far because I should not give a false commitment to you. But what I do is for each and every topic, what are the interview questions you can expect? The
Questions.
sample questions I used to share at the end of the sessions. What are the topic I'm covering, right? For all these topics, I used to
Oh,
give what are the real time interview questions you can expect. It's
oh,
not like a theoretical questions. Again,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
repeating because when you go to an interview, they won't ask you what is Jenkins. They're not going to
Correct.
ask you the question.
Yeah,
They will ask you
yeah.
the real time questions, right? So I'll be sharing that real time questions like what I ask to my candidates, like what are my fellow panelists were asking. So those questions and all I used to put together
Oh,
and share it at the end of the sessions. Like as I told, like in yesterday's demo also I covered it. Like after the session, like whatever presentation I'm showing, right? After this 40 hours, I'll be sharing this presentation as a PDF and I'll share that the real-time interview questions also. So in each of the what are the topic we committed in the course agenda. So for those topics, I'll be sharing.
okay. Yes, ma'am. That's clear. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome. So we are on time. I would say that now we are open for the question. So any question, we are open to discuss now in terms of whatever